I'm Kaori over here with...
And Campia.
And today in this episode of Clue, we are going to talk about Netflix's documentary, Dear Zachary. Bring out the tissues, everyone.
I know.
This is a really, really sad crime documentary. True story. So there's a victim, and his name is Andrew
Bagby, yep.
And he was murdered by his girlfriend at the time, and his best friend, Kurt, decided to make a little scrapbook-esque documentary of Andrew's life. And during the process of this, Andrew's ex-girlfriend, Shirley,
Yep.
Thank you.
No
Shirley was, she announced that she was pregnant with Andrew's child. So then it goes into from sad to sadder.
Yes.
Dist.
Possible.
Yes. Because at the end of the documentary, you not only do you get to know Andrew's life, and how he was certainly innocent, and he just had the unfortunate mishap of meeting a woman who happened to be
the fucking devil,
crazy,
you guys.
like diabolic.
Diabolic.
Well, diabolic.
That's a good word.
But his legacy, he was fortunate enough to have a legacy, even though he was murdered, only to be, his legacy, Zachary, only to be killed by his own mother. It is sad. It's a really sad one. It's hard to watch because it documents Andrew, and then it documents Andrew's parents fighting for Zachary. And then Shirley being in jail, and you see her being like, I'm sorry, but a lunatic.
Yeah.
And the worst part, well, not the worst part, but a horrible part is how the police dealt with it. For me, watching it, you think, this event of Shirley basically holding her baby and drowning together in the water, like crazy that she wouldn't even let her son live, like just kill yourself. You know, I know that's horrible for me, but she, like she wants to kill both her and her little son, who can not even speak at this age, leaving Andrew's parents, like, I can't even imagine what they're going through, even today.
Yeah.
And this documentary shows it, and it kills me that all the signs, everything, and the cops were just, like, too lenient about it. Like, oh, let's bring them back from Canada. Oh, and, it was just like, this could have been prevented. We could have saved a child's life. We could have saved a child's life.
Yeah, absolutely. It's to your point, it's just you're watching this unravel, and at some point, I think halfway through is where I caught on, knowing that this is not going to end well.
Yeah.
I think probably you had that same suspicion at some point watching it as well, and it's just, you know what to expect, but you are wishing and praying that that is not the end of the documentary.
Right.
And she is the devil.
She's the devil.
I know we've talked about Robert Durst now, we've talked about Michael Peterson, these people who carry these traits where it just makes my skin crawl because they are not human to me.
They have no empathy.
Not whatsoever.
It's scary. And I know we've witnessed people around us that have a lack of empathy, but this is to a point that is dangerous. And these kind of people should not be able to walk this earth around other people that they can potentially harm.
Yep.
Right? Because they essentially think that they have the power to take away lives without any repercussions. And it hurts.
And in this case, a very, very young child.
And
I think this is the first for me watching one of these true crime documentaries where somebody who is not even of legal age is involved in the situation, and it's just heartbreaking.
It's like there's a lot of black and white in this world, but there's some situations where it cannot be black and white. If the mother of a child happens to be the murderer of the father, why does she have partial custody of this kid? Why does that even happen?
They fucking screwed this whole thing up. The judge, the therapist, the entire police system or whatever, the Child Protective Services, everybody fucked this up. And I know, US versus Canada, like all our systems are very different, but there's just one thing that should be the same, which is if you are even suspected of any crime, you should not have any access to your child whatsoever. Child Protective Services could have at least kept Zachary.
I mean, it's obvious
safe.
she did kill
Yes,
Andrew.
yes.
It's not even like a suspect. It was like she did it.
Yes.
Everything points to that, and the fact that the system was like, well, she's waiting trial. We'll see what happens. Joint custody with the grandparents. No.
Yes. I know.
Especially when you have the grandparents wanting to take this kid. It just boggles my mind how horribly, what's the word? Horribly mishandled
Yeah.
this was.
Every step of the way.
Every single step of the way.
To your point, there were so many instances where that second death could have been prevented.
Oh, absolutely.
I think
Could have
with
been. So
Andrew, obviously unfortunate, maybe people would not have suspected it would get to that length.
Yeah, because we're stupid sometimes and we want to believe that we're
Right.
not going to date diabolical people.
Fucking crazy people, right?
Yes.
And then it's, I think it's the last 15 to 20 minutes
Oh,
of it.
It's rough.
Where it kind
It's
of just
rough.
boom, boom, boom hits you with not only is that there this murder-suicide, but when they backtrack to all the evidence, there was the ex-boyfriend of Shirley's that was saying, hey, I was trying to tell people that she threatened to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Yeah.
this guy who's like, she was calling me like 200 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
She tried to kill me. That's why I'm not with her anymore.
Yeah.
Like evidence like that comes out or has been out and it just happened to be ignored. And there's just
Because-
all these other things. That's like, dude, does everyone have their blinders on?
That's the problem is people don't take things seriously until it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a huge issue that we have in this world. You know, it's like it's like if something's going on and you're feeling it in your gut, you
Yeah.
gotta tell someone, and
Yeah.
that person better believe you and not
Yeah.
think you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because this happens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And just watching this documentary and even just looking back, because I haven't seen it in a while, it just makes me so sad. It's so tragic, and the fact that Andrew's best friend created this documentary makes
Yeah.
it even more touching.
Yeah, and
know?
And for his first ever, I think this was his first ever try at even, because like you said, this was just supposed to be a personal letter to the family.
Yeah.
To capture Andrew's life, and it's become this documentary that people talk about. Is he did a really good job of kind of laying out
Yeah.
the entire situation to the point where Zachary was still alive in the documentary.
Yeah, he was. That was just.
Yeah, and I think he ties it up really well by saying at the end, this is about his parents. This is about them now fighting to fix all the shit that
Yes.
happened to them that was wrong. They're still fighting.
Yeah.
I forget the grandpa's name, but he published 2 books about the crime. Multiple laws have changed since it's happened.
Yes,
but
finally.
again, it's like the reactive part. It's not the proactive part.
Which sucks because it's just, yes, good point. Reactive part, not the proactive part. It's too late, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Zachary was a healthy, cute kid who had, you know, a chance at life, and it was taken away because of a crazy mother that the cops and the judicial system didn't want to handle correctly.
Yeah.
It's just tragic. Do you have anything else to say?
I just wanted to say, I think the part that obviously the entire thing is traumatic.
Yeah.
I think the part that sticks with me the most is when they interview Andrew's parents and his father comes up with multiple scenarios in which they've thought about how to get this baby away from Shirley.
Yes.
And he even talks about how he was calculating murder
Yeah, he
or
did.
kidnapping the
Yeah.
baby. And all of these
And
instances.
in my head, I was like, kidnap that
Exactly,
baby.
right? And
Kidnap that
it's
baby.
It's like in all of those instances, I'm like, yes, I know it. Again, we're cheering for a guy who's talking about murdering someone or kidnapping a baby, but in that situation, it's like, what do you do when you are out of options trying to do it the right way?
And trying to talk to the mother or the woman who killed your son.
Yes.
It's, my God, the patience that these guys had.
I know.
To and they were kind to her, like trying to be understanding about the custody. It was,
They would drive, and they would drive 2 hours for Zachary to see her in prison.
Like,
they
that's
did
crazy.
everything by the book, and that's what haunts me, is that this poor couple now has to live with the death of their son and their grandson.
And the thing is, you know what? They did the best they could. That's the thing. They did the best they could. Well, the judicial system, and I keep saying that, they didn't do the best they could. It was too black and white. And that's like that's the thing. Like, it should never be black and white when it comes to this kind of situation.
Yeah.
I know emotions come into play, and that kind of becomes tricky, but it's a kid's life. Two people's lives, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess that's it.
I there's nothing more to say, or else I'm just gonna burst into tears thinking about it.
Yeah, I know. Or I'm just gonna say the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
But tell us what you thought if you saw the documentary, Dear Zachary. Comment below. Let us know. Thumbs up this video. Tell a friend and subscribe to this channel. And also, where can people follow you, Ann?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at AnnCampia.
You can follow us at Team Amasian on Twitter and Instagram, and you can follow me, Kaorious. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later.